Geminis, welcome to my channel. Let's take a look at the general energy around you for the week. Any information that you may be looking for, I will have listed in the description box, so just check there. And let's see what's going on. All right, Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements. What is the general energy around them? So we have the Knight of Wands. We have the Five of Wands. We have the Queen of Cups. And we also have the Devil. Okay, so the general energy that I'm seeing. So creatively, you could be having like these spurts of inspiration. There could be like these moments where you feel like creatively on fire, like you can't stop. And in other moments, you could have this moment of feeling like burnt out, overwhelmed. So I think that this week is about having a balance around what you do. And even if it's not creative in a sense, maybe you work really, really hard, right? Or you have like these spurts of energy where you feel really good and you feel inspired and you're ready to move and get things done. And then other moments where you feel like maybe drained or overwhelmed or just burnt out. It's important that you are having like ways of like balancing yourself out energetically this week, or paying close attention to like imbalances you could have around like your schedule. Because some of you work yourself to a point of exhaustion, like to a point to where you can't even like recover properly from the burnout. So that's something to pay close attention to. Another thing that I'm getting, sorry guys, there's this freaking fly in here. Another thing that I'm seeing with the Five of Wands, there could be other people energetically who are drama filled. That's the best way I could put it. Drama filled. They come with their own sense of problems. And the more that you entertain getting yourself involved in like helping family drama, for instance, or trying to be there in support of a friend, but maybe they kind of come with the level of drama or baggage. I think that this week is inquiring you to be mindful of who you're connected to. Who do you have around you? Are these people energetically meant to be around you, or are they people that you need to kind of distance yourself from, especially if they are constantly negative, or they're constantly having like conversations that could be centered around like talking about people or just drama. And this could even be a love interest. The question around whether or not dealing with someone, especially if they're constantly inconsistent. I'm sorry, guys, this fly is annoying. I'm gonna have to open the window. If there's this constant issue with you having somebody that you're dating, right? And they're like drama filled. They deal with way too many people romantically. They're like hypersexual, but when it comes to actually having like balanced conversations with them, maybe they have a hard time doing that. It's the question of whether or not you could continue dealing with them, or if this is worth dealing with them, especially if this is a Capricorn, water sign, air sign, or not air sign, fire sign I'm getting here. Let's keep going. What is the advice for my Geminis they need to hear for this week? So the advice, I have the Justice, the Page of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and also the Chariot. So if there is any legal stuff that you do need to take care of, or that you're going through as of right now in terms of like litigation, taking someone to court, child support stuff, try to go for the most amicable. I feel like I'm jacking this word up. Make sure you're going for an outcome that is fair. And I do see that there is going to be a fair outcome, but make sure that you're fighting fair, or in terms of the way that you're choosing to even fix also some sort of relationship with the person you may have children with, or have a cordial relationship with like an ex-husband and ex-wife. There needs to be this peaceful or harmonious way of you approaching it, so that there isn't like this bigger blow up or this bigger thing where spitefulness and pettiness is being like spewed back at you, in a sense of you know, going in for the kill. Spirit is also talking about, again, a balance around your schedule or a balance around the things that you do. Some of you are really overworking yourself or really overdoing it, and it's going to cause you to burn out if you are not careful. Okay, Spirit is saying just because you like force yourself to overwork, is it healthy if you can't keep up that stamina? And is it really going to give you the results that you're looking for if you, again, can't keep up with the stamina of, like I said, the amount of work that you're taking on? What's another piece of advice? I would focus on straight up asking the questions that you have answers to any like business partner, love interest here. I'm getting higher ups at your job. Some of you have so many questions around when you're going to get this, what's going on with this, what's happening with that. And instead of directly asking the questions, you could just be speculating and wondering. And this is a week where you could get that clarity or that understanding if you just asked. Now, what are you unaware of that you need to be? I have the 6 of Cups. I have the 3 of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and I also have the Queen of Wands. So what are you currently unaware of? So you could have a ex, you could have a old friend, person that you have children with. There's this reminiscent energy that I'm picking up on. You could be wondering why you're randomly thinking about certain individuals or having them pop up in your dreams. And it could be because they're like randomly thinking about you or like doing this thing of like ruminating on what has happened. So this is no coincidence. No coincidence. And another thing I'm also picking up on, there is really a childhood friend or a childhood lover who is really disappointed that things ended off the way that they did. They could actually try to reach out to you during this time frame. So if you do hear from them, what you may not be aware of is like behind the scenes, they've always kind of felt bad about how things turned out between you two. And I'm talking about like a relationship where you haven't talked to this person in a while, like since you guys were children or since you guys were younger. And you could hear from them, especially if they're an Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius individual here as well. Another thing that you may be unaware of, some of you have been subconsciously allowing past disappointment to dictate certain decisions that you've been making. And the more that you allow certain decisions to be ruled based off of like trauma and like what didn't work out in the past tense, you're not really making decisions based off of what's in your best interest. You're making decisions based off of, again, those things, and all it will do is just create more room for those same very things to kind of manifest. So you want to be mindful of making decisions, especially when it comes to personal relationships, based off of, you know, past trauma or past hurt. Now, what is the things that my Geminis need to avoid for the week? I have the High Priestess, I have the Ace of Pentacles, the Hangman, and I also have the Knight of Cups. So what you may need to avoid, well, you want to avoid putting your intuition to the side for other people, okay? Why question your ability to trust yourself for the sake of believing other people's lies or giving other people the opportunity to, you know, make you eventually go back into realizing that listening to your intuition was the best bet in the first place. So if you're having to bypass your inner knowing for the sake of, you know, believing someone, even though they've shown you repeatedly that maybe there's someone you have to be cautious of in the first place, then it's important that you're not doing that during this time frame. Another thing that I'm seeing too, you do want to avoid entertaining someone's emotional inconsistencies in a way where you're constantly feeling like you have to go out of your way to apologize or like show them that you care. It could be manipulation to see if they could get you to feel something. So if someone is like blatantly like gaslighting you, 1 second pouring all into you and then the next second pulling away and then expecting you to like run after them, you do need to avoid playing into that cat and mouse game because it will stay a consistent thing of cat and mouse. Okay, what are my Geminis experiencing over the next week or so? What's the general energy? So we have medical staff, which represents healing. We have succulents, which represents resilience. Globe, which represents possibility. Mountains, which represents obstacles. And we also have crown, which represents personal power. So yeah, so overall energy for this next week, personal healing, like this card says. Also, if you've been going through any physical injuries, or you've been feeling under the weather, or just not like yourself, you could be feeling a lot better by the end of this week. Especially if you are like taking the proper steps to like treat yourself, or like if this is a physical injury, you do need to make sure you're taking it slow this week. Another thing I'm seeing, for a lot of you, if you've been experiencing like just challenges, random challenges here and there, I think that this week is showing that you're able to be strong regardless of it, because resilience does talk about being able to be strong in the face of being tested or being put through things, essentially like letting challenges almost fuel you to keep going. So this week is given the energy of when you feel like you're about to give up, you need to go in harder. And a lot of you, that's what I'm getting. Like you've had moments where you've wanted to give up on what you're doing, or, you know, have just kind of questioned everything. And this week is showing you where in those moments where you want to give up on yourself, you need to just keep going and tap into your personal power even more. But I got so many energies about recovery. There could be something here that's going to be fixed, whether this is a personal relationship, your physical health, finances. Something here is recovering. But this is what I see. I hope that this was helpful and to give you insight for this week. I will talk to my Geminis in the next one. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe.